Hi guys, this is Big Phil from Big Phil TV. Once again, I'm back to another video. And in this video, I'll be showing you guys the Galaxy Note 9 top camera tips and tricks in order to capture great photos. We all know the Galaxy Note 9 has a great camera, one of the best cameras in the market. But in order to capture great photos, you need to know how to set it up. So in this video, I'll be showing you guys all the different tips and tricks in which you can use to capture great photos on your Galaxy Note 9. So without wasting much time, let's get into the video. So first thing first, there are three ways in which you can quickly launch the camera of the Galaxy Note 9. The first way is by double tapping on the power button, 1, 2. You launch the camera and you can take photos. The second way in which you can do that is by getting into the lock screen, just like this. Then you swipe from down, swipe up, you get into the camera. The third way in which you can launch the camera is by using the S Pen. You press and hold the button right here and it activates the camera so you can quickly take photos without missing on the action. Now, getting to the camera, there are different modes in which you can use to take great photos. Okay, let's start with the first one, which is panorama. With panorama, you can take a wide view of photo in a large, especially in a landscape. We also got the Pro mode. In the Pro mode, in which you have a full control of the camera, you can change almost everything. The ISO, the aperture, the standard, the autofocus, and the white balance. So you can change almost everything in the Pro mode. We also got the live focus, which is also called as the portrait mode, which means you can take a photo with a complete blur background. And there is the auto. The auto mode means you can just simply point and shoot without any settings. The phone automatically sets anything and everything for you. There is also the super slow motion, which is good to take slow motion videos, like for 4 seconds or 2 seconds in either 960 frames per second. And there is also the AR emoji, which is really good. We're going to talk about it in a second. Like you can use your image to create an emoji and you can send it to friends and family. There is also the hyperlapse, which means you can take a video, a short video in a fast mode. And there is the slow motion, which is the same as super slow motion, but the super slow is very slow and has good quality than the slow motion. Now let's get into the first part of how to take great photos. The next way in which you can take great photos is by turning on your scene optimizer. So to do that, you simply get into settings. As you can see right here, we got it here, scene optimizer, which means we automatically adjust the color settings of every photo you take. So you simply turn it on right here. This is very good because it helps to change the color settings of any subject that you want to take. So make sure to turn on your scene optimizer. The next thing you got to do is to change the picture size and the video size. Right here in the settings, get into picture size. As you can see, mine is on the top, the maximum, which is 12 megapixel, 4032 by 3024. That's the maximum, and that's what I love. And for video size, you can leave it right up to Full HD at 60 frames per second, or if you want 4K videos, you take it right up to UHD 60 frames per second right there. But this takes more space. I think around about 5 minutes of 4K video is almost 1 gigabyte. So it's up to you, whatever you want, either 4K or Full HD at 60 frames per second. Now let's talk about the Pro mode. In the Pro mode, as I mentioned earlier, you have full control of the camera. You can change things like the ISO. You can take it down to 50 or right up to 800, which means much light, so much light. But I simply drop it right there at 100. You can also change the aperture. As you can see button right here, if I tap on f2.4, less light, 1.5, more light, 2.4, less light. You can also change the standard, either standard, breezy, vivid. So you can change all these. You can also change the aperture, the autofocus, to decide where you want it to focus more. You can also change the white balance from daylight, cloud, all this, and you can change all this. So I normally put mine on daylight. So these are the things you can change on the Pro mode in order to take take good photos. The light focus, which is also called the portrait mode, it means to take a complete blur background. But what you got to do is to first change the background blur, the amount of blur you want on the background. So you can drop it. Mine, I always take right up to 7, but you can put it like 5 or 4 right here. So, and the next thing you got to do is to stay a little bit far away from the object, around 4 feet from the object. Like, let's take, for example, of this Bluetooth speaker. And so as you can see, you make sure this yellow word comes out which says light focus is ready. Then you can take the shot. When you take it, you have a good blur background. And the good thing about the Samsung phones or the Galaxy phones is that you can also adjust the amount of blur background even when the photo has been taken. You simply get into the photo and you change the blur either more or less blurry. When you finish, hit on done. The next way in which you can take great photo is by changing the aperture. In the auto mode, the phone automatically changes the aperture from f1.5 to f2.4 depending on the time of the day. But in the pro mode, you can change it right there. You get into aperture, f1.5, especially in the night to take low light photos, and f2.5 during the day to take good photos with less light. So that's the way in which you can change the aperture. But in the auto, the phone automatically does that for you. There are different ways in which you can use to take great slow motion videos. The first is by using the auto mode, which means this frame is going to be here. It's going to dictate when the action is taking place and it starts automatically taking the slow motion video. The next way in which you can do that is by changing the auto into manual, which you simply tap on it and it starts recording the video. The next way in which you can take good slow motion video is by getting into the settings, the camera settings, and scroll down to slow motion. You tap right there. You can take multi-take or a single take. So I normally use the single take. Multi-take means you're taking more action and choose the best one. So those are the ways in which you can take good slow motion videos. Next is the AR emoji, which means you are creating an emoji with your image. Now let's take, for example, this is mine right here. And let's see. So when you take a photo, an image, then it turns into a cartoonish something like this. You can change the hairstyle. You can use different hairstyle. You can use different skin color or different hair color, please. That looks cool, right? You can also change the glasses. And you can change the dress. Let's use a suit. You can also change the background color. And when you're done, you hit on save and it automatically save your emoji, which you can use in the keyboard to send to others. So this is my keyboard right here. And if I want to get to all the different emojis, I get into stickers. As you can see, these are all my emojis right here. I can send to friends and family, anybody. The next tip in which you can use to take great photos is by knowing how to zoom in on an object. There are different ways in which you can zoom in on the Galaxy Note 9. The first is by tapping on the X2 button right here. You tap on it, it zoom in. You tap again, it zoom out. The next way in which you can do that is by using the shooter button. You slide on the right to zoom in on the object. You slide left to zoom out. Right, zoom in, left, zoom out. Another way in which you can zoom in on an object with the Galaxy Note 9 is by using the volume plus and minus. You press down to zoom out on an object, and you press in to zoom in on an object, just like this. Minus, out, plus, in. So those are the different ways in which you can zoom in on an object in order to take a perfect, great photo. Lastly, you can also take great videos with the Galaxy Note 9, but you got to make sure to turn on things like video stabilization, which you simply get into the camera settings. You scroll down to video stabilization, which is right here. You make sure to turn it on like this. And the next thing you got to do is to change the video size. Either on Full HD, which I recommend at 60 frames per second, or use UHD at 60 frames per second, which is 4K video. But the disadvantage with this one is that there is no video stabilization mode for it. As you can see right here, it's not available right now. I don't know why Samsung did not include it with the 4K videos, but it's not there. So you simply change it to Full HD and the video stabilization mode is available. It's good because it helps to keep the video steady and stable. That's all about this video, the tips and tricks to capture great photos and video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification for more videos coming up on Big Field TV. Until then, see you to the next one. Peace.